Hi guys, just want to give you a quick review of graphing so you can do your homework for this weekend, which is your graphing pages. So our first type of graph would be when things are in slope-intercept form. And that is where you have the y by itself on the left side, your x term and the constant on the other side. Looks something like y equals 2x minus 4. Let's try graphing that. So we know that this is our slope. The number that's in front of the x is always our slope. And then the constant here is our y-intercept or our beginning point, and that's always where we're going to begin. Okay? So let's draw a quick graph of that. And we're always going to start with our y-intercept, and that's always going to be on the y-axis, always. So for this graph, that point is at -4, so down 4. And then because our slope is 2, we want to make that into a fraction because slope is always rise over run. And so then we'll go down to our -4 point and go up 2 and over 1. So our second point would be there. Don't need that. And draw your line. And that's it. Okay. So let's go now to, next one will be when things are graphed in standard form. We learned this on Thursday and Friday. So standard form is when both the x term and the y term are on the left-hand side and the constant is on the right-hand side. Okay? And remember how I told you the easy way to solve those is because when you have an x-intercept where it's going to cross the x-axis, the y value is always going to be 0. So that's going to get eliminated, so we can just set up our equation to solve it that way. Okay? So our first equation would be 2x equals 6, and then we'll do the other one where we're going to eliminate, put the 3y back and eliminate the 2x. So our other equation would be 3y equals 6. This is what we did notes on Thursday and Friday, so refer back to that. So 2 times 3 gives us 6, so our x-intercept for this graph would be at 3, and our y-intercept would be at 2. So now when we go ahead and graph that, our x-intercept will always be on the x-axis, our y-intercept will always be on the y-axis. So our x-intercept is at 3. Out here, 1, 2, 3. And our y-intercept would be at 2. So we go up 1, 2. And there's our line. Now, on your homework, you have some that don't divide out evenly, which is okay. You can still graph a fraction, right? So let's say that we have one, sorry about this little bit of line that's left up here, but it's okay. Say you have one that looks like 3x minus 5y equals 6, okay? And you're going to set up your two equations. You'll have 3x equals 6 and negative 5y equals 6, okay? So we're going to solve for x first, and that one's cool because it comes out to a nice whole number. But this one, it's not a nice whole number. Just think about what this fraction means. Is that less than 1, more than 1? What would that be? Well, 5 divided by negative 5 would be negative 1. So this is a little bit more than that because 6 is a little bit more than 5. So when you graph that, you still would have y equals negative 6 over 5. So it would just be a little bit over from negative 1. So let's go ahead and graph that. So let's say that your points on your line are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So we know our x is at 2, so that one's easy. So for negative 6 over 5, well, negative 5 over 5 would equal negative 1. So we know it's going to be over in this area, but a little bit more. So probably about right there. So we'll just put our point there. Oh, excuse me, I messed that up, didn't I? What axis is that supposed to be on? That's not supposed to be there. That is supposed to be on the y-axis, Mrs. V, because it says y. So, some of you are yelling at me right now, and that's good, you should. So our other point should be there, and there's our line. Okay? Last thing we learned last week was horizontal and vertical lines. Should be easy peasy for you at this point, I hope. Okay. So those are really simple, and I don't want you to get those confused with the standard form. So if you're given something that just says graph y equals -3. So on your graph, since that's going to be a y amount, it's going to be on the y-axis. You're going to go down to -3, and remember that y equals are horizontal lines, and no matter what your x value is all the way across here, your y value is always going to be 3. So it's a nice horizontal line. Hopefully yours will go through the dot better than mine. Okay. If we were to give you graph x equals 4, it's just the opposite. These are vertical lines. So you're going to go over onto your x-axis, which would be here. And no matter what, our input is always 4, even though the output is always different. So you're always on this line right here. So you're just going to go over on the x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, right there, and it's a vertical line right through x equals 4. So that's your quick little review. I hope this helps you on your homework. Get it all done. I'll see you Monday and Tuesday. Have a good weekend.